What is going on, guys, and welcome to Bootstrap tutorial. In this video we're going to talk about forms in the Bootstrap. So like with HTML, we would first need to create a form element over here like this. Actually, not just like with the HTML. Actually, using the HTML, we would need to use a form. Over here we would need to create a form, and over here we would need to create a div, and we would say the div would have a class over here, and this class is going to be form group. Over here form, and it's going to be group. And within that div, actually we would need to actually place our first form, which is going to be a input, and it's going to be a simple input of text. All right. So within this group, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a label, and obviously here we're going to need to create a for attribute, and over here I'm just going to say name, because this is going to be the ID that we're creating, right? So I'm going to say that this is going to be name, and over here within this label we're going to write name, and we're going to put a colon, and over here what we're going to need to do is actually create a input, and I'm going to say type is going to be text. Over here text, not text, like this. And after that we're going to say that this is going to have a class of form control over here like this. And then we're going to say the ID is going to be, obviously if we're using the for attribute as name, so we're just going to say name, and here we're going to create a placeholder, and we're going to say please enter your name, right? So now we can close it out. Now you can see that I have name, please enter your name. And obviously if we just make it like this, you can see that it looks a little bit better on a bigger screen. But the point is that over here it's going to be displaying as a block, right? And actually in the next example we're going to look at how we can create this inline, but by default all the forms would be actually appearing like this all the way displayed throughout the screen. Now after that, again, we're just going to copy this div over here. We're going to say copy, and we're going to paste it, and we're going to paste it one more time, because we're going to be creating a password and an email. So here again the situation is the same. It's the div class form group, but we would just change it over here to password over here like this, and over here also we would write password. And over here the class control would stay the same. Here we would change it to password over here, and here we would want to say that please enter your password like this. And now we have our password one, right? So if we start typing, you can see that actually browser is hiding whatever we're doing, because we're using the input of type of password. And here we would create another one, and this would be email, and we would say email like this. And then we would want to say that type is also going to be email over here, and over here we're going to say please enter your email, right? So now we have three really basic forms, right? But what I want to add is actually over here a checkbox also. So what I would want to do is over here I would need to create a div class, and I would say that this is going to be checkbox over here like this. And then again I'm going to create a label over here, and I'm going to say that a label is going to have a input of a checkbox. So I'm going to say input, and over here we're going to say type, and type is going to be checkbox. And after that we're going to say what the checkbox is going to say, and I'm going to say hello, right? So this is our basic little checkbox. Now after that, let's create a submit button. So over here what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write a basic button, and I'm going to say that this is going to be type submit over here like this. And then I'm going to say that this is going to be class, and this is going to be button, and let's say button danger, right? And over here, we're just gonna write submit. Right? So this is our pretty basic form. Now, if we wanted to, obviously, we could have done something like this, when we just, let's say, copy it a couple of times, and this is not gonna be hello. This is gonna be yes. Right? So over here, we can just click both of them if we want to, or something like that. Now, let me show you how actually we can create this form to be appearing in line. And only thing what we would need to do is actually, I'm just gonna copy this. Where is our form? Over here like this. I'm just gonna copy this, and we can actually place this within a div of container. So then we would have a little bit more margin. So I'm gonna say class. This is gonna be container, because this is how we would actually work in the Bootstrap. So this is, as you can see, has nothing to do with forms and has everything to do with the Bootstrap, right? So we pasted it over here and we placed it within a container, and you can see how it actually moved, and now it's more sitting a little bit more nicely. And over here, if we paste it, now I pasted actually a div. So I would have to actually, again, select the whole thing and just copy and paste it. So now you can see that I have two of them, and starts with a very basic one. And maybe let's just create some margin or something, or padding or something like that for our containers, right? So let's go to our head over here, and let's just say that we would want a style over here, and we would want to say, let's say, container, to have, I don't know, a margin bottom, like, I don't know, 50 pixels, right? So now we have a little bit more room. And what we can do over here is actually, let's find, where is our form, the second form, where is actually starting, div form group, and now I cannot find it. Where is the, oh, right, here it is, right? So we go over here and we say form, and we say that we would add a class, and we would say that the class would be form inline. Over here like this, and we would say form inline. And over here, let's just check it out what happens if we go to the bigger screen. You can see what happens, right? These ones stay still as a block, but because we added this form inline, and actually over here is displayed as a line. Now let me show you one more interesting thing that we can actually do. And again, we're just going to create a div, because we are working in the brackets. And again, the class is going to be container, and we're going to be stacking them side by side. So we're going to be actually creating over here like little columns, right? So the name over here, the label, is going to be appearing right next to this one, right? And not just styled in line, we're actually going to be creating columns. And what we want to do, again, we would want to create a form. And we would want to say that form has a class of horizontal. So here we say form, we say class, it's going to be form horizontal. Or here like this, horizontal. And then again, we would need to start creating a divs with the class of form group, right? So here we have div, and this is going to have a class, and this is going to have a form group. And over here, what we're going to do is we're going to create a label over here like this, and we're going to say that the label would have a class over here, and the class would be control label over here like this. And then we would need to pick what would be the size of the columns that we would want it to span it to. So I'm going to here say that it's going to be column small, and it's going to be, let's say, 2. And over here, what I'm going to say is this is what is this attribute for, and I'm going to say email. And here I'm going to say again email, and it's going to be a colon. And over here, what we're going to do is we're going to say that this is going to be div, and this is going to be div with the class of column, and the other one is going to be small 10, right? And the reason why it is 10 is because if we have this label spanning 2 columns, then this is obviously going to be spanning 10 columns, right? Because we want to have a sum of 12. So over here, again, we would write a input. And again, in this case, of course, we're going to write type. And the type is going to have to be email because we're working with email right now. And here what we're going to write, again, the class. And it's going to be form control. Or here like this, form control. And over here, we're going to say the ID is going to be email. Email. And you can see that as my typing gets really good sometimes. And over here, we're going to say placeholder. Placeholder. And we're going to say again, please enter your email, right? Please enter your email, right? So this is going to be our input. Now you can see that I didn't close it out. Therefore, the brackets live preview is saying that something was wrong. And what I would want to do over here, I'm just going to say take this form group. And we're just going to copy this and paste it. And let's check it out. Where is our div? So now I can see that I have 2 of them. And obviously on a smaller screen, they would be appearing like this. Let's just change it over here, and we're gonna say that this is gonna be a password, and over here we're gonna say again this is gonna be a password, and here we're gonna say that please enter your password. ID is gonna be password, and here we're going to say type is going to be password. So pretty much we're just going to change it around all of them to password, right? Something like this. Now what we want to do is we want to make the screen bigger and see what happened, right? And you can see that how nicely, actually you can see this is spanning 2 columns and this is spanning 10, right? So obviously this one looks much better than this one. And obviously we can change the columns, how much they would be spanning. So let's say over here I would say 6, and over here I would want to change it to 6 also, because again the sum should be 12. So let's go back over here. Now you can see how this password is spanning 6, this one is 6, and this one is 2 and 10, right? This is going to be it for this video, guys. Now you know how to actually work with the forms in the Bootstrap. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.